Swiss Flamadiddles, Displaced. Let's go! In the previous video, we worked on flams incorporated with paradiddles. So these Swiss Flamadiddles are similar to the paradiddles, but it's inverted. So when I say inverted paradiddle, instead of it being right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, it's now going to be right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left. And we're also going to add an accent and a flam at the beginning of each 16th note. I'll play an example right here. It's the first one on the PDF. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll notice that flam is really loud, and then the other 3/16 notes are very quiet. This will help the flow once you get up to the speed, and it sounds a lot better when it's all even and boring. You don't want it to sound like robotic. We want to have a natural a touch to it, you know. And then, so as we move on, here's where the displaced flams come in, where the first one happens on the downbeat. Now the second one, we displace it a 16th note. So now the flam happens on the 1E and A. And I'll play it for you here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next one, it's on the and, so we displace it one more 16th. So now it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the final one, we displace it on the final 16th note. So it's going to be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll notice the last one, it's just normal 16th notes without any accents or no flam. That's because that's kind of our turning point to transition to the other hand. So we start off leading with the right hand, and then those final 4 flip it over, so we lead with the left hand on the second one, which makes the whole sequence of the Flamadiddles 16 bars. And then we move on to the main pattern, which is where we always start with. So the main pattern doesn't have any flams. It's just accents and a specific hand pattern. And this is just to break it up so we can kind of have something to go back and forth to between all those Flamadiddles. And then back to just snare, no kick or hi-hat with that as well, just the snare. I'll play you the example here. You can follow along. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you notice those accents, keep track of those because we need to have those accents super exaggerated to make these things sound really nice. And as we're playing now, we're also going to be working on our independence. So the first Flamadiddles with the 16ths here that we're going to play, the kick and hi-hat are just going to be hitting the downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then the second segment of Flamadiddles, we're going to switch it to the kick on beat 1 and then the hi-hat on the off beat. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we're going to flip that again, and it's going to be the hi-hat on the down beats and the kick on the off beats. 1 and 2 and 3, and 4, and this is while we're playing the Flamadiddles on top. This could take some time to get. Work on the snare first. Once you get comfortable with doing the displaced Flamadiddles, then try to add the kick and hi-hat. And finally, we're going to do a breakup between the snare and the hi-hat. So instead of doing just the Flamadiddles on the snare only, now we're going to move the right hand to the hi-hat. And it's going to sound something like this. I'll give you an example. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to work through that, do the displacements, and also each time we do the Flamadiddles, it's going to change the kick pattern again. So we're going to start with both of them doing the quarter notes, and then it's going to be the kick on the downbeat, hi-hat on the offbeats, and then we flip that again, hi-hats on the downbeat, kick on the offbeats, and then that finalizes the whole segment of Flamadiddles here. So let's try this. We're going to play along. It's about just over 5 minutes. It doesn't sound very long, but when you're trying to play all these Flamadiddles, the displacements, plus the independence exercise of it, it's going to make you really have to focus. So here we go. Let's work our way through this. We're going to start with the main pattern for 8 bars, and then we're going to move on throughout the rest of the Flamadiddles. And each change is going to be verbalized in the backing track. So you're going to get a cue. It's going to say 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It gives us 2 bars of a warning to go to the next section. So we're either moving on to the next Flamadiddle or back to the main pattern. All right, let's do this. We'll see you at the end. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. Hope you all made it to the end. If not, don't worry. You can always work on it next time and break segments down into smaller pieces and work your way through. The most challenging part is separating the hands. As soon as you break from the snare to here, it feels really strange, especially with the independence aspect where the hi-hat, once it's hitting the downbeat and the kick is on the offbeats, it feels quite strange. We're not really used to that, but it's good to practice because it really helps you open up dexterity and independence. All right, guys, so if you like this video, please give it a like and a subscribe, and hope to see you on the next one. Let's go!